Have you ever cursed God in your heart the way Satan said Job would? What does that look like? Have you stopped worshiping him? Have you stopped serving him? Have you stopped praying to him? Have you stopped reading his word? Have you stopped fellowshipping with the church? You see, you may not profess with your lips a curse towards God, but your heart will show your true disposition. And if any of those things have been true about you before, and I stand there with you, you see, you and I, we are guilty of having cursed God. We're guilty of having not acknowledged God the way he deserves to be acknowledged, even in the midst of our hard times. Now, even though he was an upstanding man, God allowed all of the blessings he'd given Job to be removed. His animals were all killed, his source of wealth, his children would die, and he became extremely, extremely sick. But what was his response? In chapter 1, verse 21, Job says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. The Lord gave, and he has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Later in the book, in chapter 13, verse 15, he says, one of my favorite verses in the Bible, "Though he slay me, yet I will hope in him." And the Bible goes out of its way to say that through all of this, Job did not sin, nor did he blame God. You see, we are not blaming God when we acknowledge that God has a purpose for suffering in our lives. A lot of people feel shaky about that because they haven't been taught a biblical view of suffering. They've been taught that only the devil will make your life hard. Only fallen men will make your life hard. You see, Satan had to go to God to get permission to do this. Now remember, if Satan would have had his way, he would have took everything. God put a restriction on the evils of the enemy because he said, only spare his life. So God sets the gates up, but he will allow these kinds of forces to come into your life and produce suffering. In those times and places, will you be like Job? And will you say, "Blessed be the name of the Lord"? He has taken away, but blessed be the name of the Lord. How many Americans can do that? How many Americans only know how to worship God? He has given, blessed be the name of the Lord. Are you at a place where you can go before God and say, "Lord, you have taken away, blessed be your name"? Even though he lost all that he had, Job continued to do one thing very important, and that was to acknowledge God as God. But that presumes something. Who is God? If we're going to acknowledge God as God in our suffering, we have to know who he is, right? And this is something that is very, very important to me. God fundamentally is always worthy. Always worthy. The psalmist says that you, meaning God, founded the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. Even they will perish, but you endure. Like clothing, you will change them, and they will be changed. But you are the same. And he says in chapter 90, verse 2, "From everlasting to everlasting, you are God." You see, I believe in a God that doesn't change. I believe in a God that was the same before creation as he will be after all of this wastes away, and everywhere in between. The God that I believe in, and I hope the God that you believe in, see, he is forever powerful. He is forever good. He is forever loving. He is forever holy. He is forever glorious. He is forever knowing. He is forever understanding. He is forever attentive. He is forever ruling, and he is forever worthy.